Man, I hate France. French freedom smells like shit. Everything France touches turns into shit. Egypt. From pharaohs to worthless money. The Middle East, with aid of England, turned into a absolute hellhole for every living person there. And lastly, snails. What did the poor snails do to deserve to be turned into escargot? Which Frenchman in his delusional mind thought, oh, look at that snail. Let me slurp it out of its cup. What the fuck? And you know, speaking of insane shit that French did, like turning snails into escargot, we gotta look at some of the fucking history of France, especially in the later half of the century, more specifically in its colonial assets, quote unquote former colonial assets, because I would still argue that France is one of the biggest neo-colonial forces out there today. So, first off, we have France and Vietnam. When the Vietnamese wanted independence, the French did not deliver. The French had better ideas, like their stinky freedom. Yes, their stinky freedom included the traditional Maoist action of forced collectivization, making baguettes, and killing about 800,000 people. And ignoring it because, well, that's what every good colonizer does, right? We like to ignore our stuff too. But I'm just saying, that is a little big oopsie. And that's not even calling the bigger oopsie, which is France and Algeria. 1.5 million people. It's a forgotten war. And that is a generous estimate, because the higher estimates rank it at about 4 million Algerians killed during France's attack on Algerian independence. What the fuck? How on earth can you justify 1.5 million dead people, yet alone 4 million, and then call yourself a country that truly believes in democracy? And not much has changed with France since then. You'd be surprised with all their conflicts that they're still fighting in Libya and all of the northern coast of Africa. They're still right there. They're still doing their little neo-colonial shit. Their influence is still strong. They got their fingers in the politics. They be having a great time. And that's not even to mention some of the astonishing shit France did in Rwanda during Operation Turquoise. Operation Turquoise was a plea made by the French to participate in committing the Rwandan genocide. And I say committing deliberately because the French outright dropped down in Rwanda to help the Hutu extremists slaughter by acting as an international safeguard that didn't do fucking shit. They did absolutely nothing. They looked and they recorded it. There are videos on YouTube, if you search it up, French participation in Rwanda, where you will see a Frenchman recording a Rwandan Hutu kill a Tutsi child. And that shit is brutal. And this was all in a plea to try and keep undercover what was really happening in Rwanda during a time when the world actually should have focused on one of the worst genocides in recent time. And then the Chad Civil War. France really enjoyed meddling within Chad. And it makes sense because Chad used to be in what is considered the French sphere of influence. But the shit they did in Chad was also not good. They were fighting the people who were trying to gain independence. Once again, because that's what French freedom is about. It's about slaughtering those who really desire it. And then neo-colonialism, because that's pretty fun. And the last point about French freedom, smelling like shit, is what they did in the Middle East following World War I and World War II with the British. Drawing those lines have led to so much instability. No regards for ethnic borders, no regards for religion, no regards for anything, because money. France looks like Mr. Krabs in my eyes, because all they care about is money, 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 and a little bit of influence, because, you know, you never really want to let go of your colonial assets if you're a colonizer, because why would you do that? That's whack. That's silly as fuck. So anyway, France smells like monkey balls. That's all.